ready? Let's go. While they chase headlines, he's digging through the tape. Third string grind, every snap, every rep, everybody talking first round, same names again. Danny in the shadows, finding value in the 10. Stopwatch ticking, notebooks full of ink. Missed by the cameras, but he sees what you think you didn't see. From small schools to back up with a chance. If there's a sleeper on the board, he already made the call in advance. Danny Savage, draft guru, breaking down the board like a pro really do. Lay round legends, yeah, he's standing on the truth. Day 3, Danny turning pigs into proof. When the lights fade out and the crowd goes home, that's when the future gets quietly grown. 6th, 7th round, undrafted dreams. You connecting all the dots in between the schemes. Traits over hype, film over fame. If the league missed it, he's calling the name. Every year, gotta steal, every class got a few. When they go and show brand, Danny says, watch this dude. Danny Savage, draft guru. If it's sitting on the board, yeah, he's feeling it too. From the war room to the long shot crew. Day 3, Danny, yeah, the legends coming through. Yeah. This is Danny Savage, draft guru. Let's go. Let's get into it. This is Danny Savage, draft guru. Let's get into it.
Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville once again. Danny Savage, draft guru. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a like, hit the hyper button. Also, don't forget to hit the notification button so you know the champ goes live. All right, we're going to be talking about a linebacker from Oklahoma. Some people are high on him. I'm a men's of men's. What I do like, he's been at Oklahoma all 4 years. What I don't like is for the first 3 years, he did absolutely nothing. His first 3 years at Oklahoma, I think maybe like the most he had was maybe 8 tackles. But long story short, we'll get there. His name is Owen Heinecke, linebacker, Oklahoma. His jersey number is 38. So when I put videos in the comment section, you can check it out. Now, listen, this kid is listed at 6'1", 225. No, his kid ain't 6'1". Like I said, I don't want to shit on him, but he's not 6'1". This kid's closer to 6 foot, probably 220, you know. And, oh man, how can I phrase this? When I see somebody and I just see 1 year of production, you know what I'm trying to say? So, in my opinion, he did have 1 good year, but his first 3 years, not a zinc, nothing. This year, he had 74 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Now, did Oklahoma have a good year? Yes. Did Oklahoma have some decent defensive linemen in front of him? Yes. Can this guy bang week in, week out inside the tackle box in the NFL? I'm going to say no. In my opinion, he is a safety. He's going to have to make his thing with, special teams. I think he's a safety, more like, he, don't get me wrong, he does play better closer to the line of scrimmage, but listen, this kid could show up at camp 235, 240. I don't understand it, man. If you're not gaining muscle, eat. If you're not gaining muscle, eat more. If you're not gaining muscle, eat more. I don't see this kid running like a 4.3. So is really that extra 10, 15 pounds of muscle is going to protect you. You know what I'm trying to say? And your joints and your bones and your collarbones. Like I said, I'm another kid. I don't want to shit on him, but I'm not as high on him as some other people are. I'm old school. I like my linebackers 6'2", 6'3", 240, 245. I never forget a couple of years ago, Jack Campbell from Iowa came out, 6'5", 250. Everybody was like, oh, He's too big. He's going to get destroyed. He went in the first round to the Detroit Lions. How's he looking? Then a couple of years ago, everybody was, well, the Do-Rag crew, they were so hyped on Jimmy Dean from Georgia. His name is N'Kobe Dean, but I call him Jimmy Dean because, he's like 6 foot, 200 he was, 220, 215. Playing behind that Georgia D line, injuries in college, injury prone. He still has that D line with him in Philly, injury prone in the NFL. Now he's a free agent. I would not go near that kid. Listen, like I said, but what do I know? But if you go back to the N'Kobe Dean's year, the champ said Devin Lloyd was the best linebacker in the first round coming out. And I think Devin Lloyd was maybe like the third linebacker taken. But I think Jimmy Dean went a little bit later, I think. But because he didn't work out, he didn't show up at the combine, he had a torn pectoral. That kid Jimmy Dean's torn everything. So listen, like I said, I just don't want to shit on this kid. It's just he has good production, but if I'm a coach, if I'm a scout, and you're in my room, I'm gonna be like, yo, great, you had 74 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. That's great. Yeah. Where were you the last 3 years? Where were you? What are you gonna say? You immature? You were hurt? You were just trying to get bigger? You weren't hurt for 3 years. So those would be my questions if I was a scout in that room. Like I said, I don't want to shit on him, but it is a very, very low key, good middle linebacker class. And I'm talking about linebackers that are like 6'2, 240, bigger. Listen, I'm going to put some tape in the comment section. I don't want to shit on the kid, but it's just like a lot of these channels, all they give you is the pros. They never give anyone the con. They never say, oh, you got to watch out for this, watch out for that. They just tell you like the good stuff. But those are also the people that just talk. They just ramble. And they'll never rank their players. So I'm like, what are you doing here? You just talk. Well, whatever. Listen, his jersey number is 38. And it'll be in the comment section. I got to come up with 3 more mock drafts before the day's over. West, NFC West, NFC North, NFC South. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO for life. Over and out. Give me a minute.